Mike's here.
Dealer, hit the button, man. Come on, dude. The people are waiting, man.
What's going on, guys? Dealer here, back again with yet another episode of RDX Podcast, Real Deal Xbox Podcast. Shout out to everybody in the chat. You said Yabara was here too. Shout out to Yabara. Shout out to everybody else. We're supposed to have like several people kind of show up in the chat. And if anyone wants to jump in, let Tim know and we'll get you in. But at the end of the day, thank you so much for joining one of the biggest Xbox podcasts in the history of the world, and it's all because of you guys. Hit that like button, share it out. We do appreciate it, guys. Big day for Microsoft finally unveiling their common sense console, the Xbox Series S, and, we're going to talk about all of that. All the information has been revealed since some of the videos have come out, and so much more. Explaining some of the things maybe some of you guys have had questions about. In the meantime, we got a ton of topics. So, again, actually, we got some great topics, not a ton of topics. So, again, bear with us, but let's do some introductions. We'll start with Cold Eastwood. Buddy, how you been? Big day.
Very big day. You should just say we have one topic and we'll just sprinkle a couple things on top of that. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Sounds like it's going to be a good one.
Yeah. D-Batch, how you been, bud?
I'm good. I got to say I'm excited. I got the great news late last night. I said, I'll cover it in the morning. And I went to bed and I woke up this morning and holy shit, man. The whole world is talking about the Series S, so I can't wait to get into the topic today. And I think Colt's right. We have just one big topic today with other little things sprinkled in. Shout
out to Billy S. in the chat. A piece of dirt could fly in the vent of the Xbox. He'd be like, is this going to overheat it? Yeah, shout out to Billy. Shout out to Night Wolf. He says a certain YouTuber's eating Serious Crow today. I think there's a lot of them, actually. But good thing, there's amnesia and people, I guess they like to act like they said the same thing the whole time, but again, I don't really give a shit. It's not really worth talking about any of that stuff. Hey, we've also got xCloud Tim Dog. How you doing, buddy?
Very good. Happy to be here. I have a very cool guest and Dutch. I've been a big fan of his throughout the years. Does some great creative work with some Xbox consoles and art stuff. But he's a great fan, and I'm ready to go. Big day. It was happy that Mike stopped by. I talked to Mike earlier, and I thanked him for for what his work was involved with this, because he definitely was involved. And I know that through the past he's talked about stuff like being small. If he would love to see an Xbox without a disc, when we've talked to see the design and. Man, they got that thing small, so that's another.
It's really small.
Sign that Mike was one of the voices behind that. But we'll go into it. Very happy to be here, and let's have a good show.
Yeah, Drunken Shade, by the way, says got a joke for you. Variable refresh rate. Haha. Oh man, shout out to Crackhead Craig. We've also got Zalk87, buddy. How you been?
Good, man. This news day just blew the fuck up, and it's a nice little Tuesday right after Labor Day, and man, that stuff dropped last night. Really, I was in bed, I was chilling, I was like, I gotta work tomorrow. Then I saw that, and I was like, I'm not going to bed tonight. Just freaking sat there on Twitter reading everything, and it's a lot of fun. And you can tell that the chat's hyped, everybody's excited, man. It's a good day to be an Xbox fan, and just a good day to be a gamer.
You're clipping just a microscopic amount, by the way. You could probably just lower it in the settings real quick, just 1%, even 2%.
But you do sound good, Soccer.
You sound fine. You kind of sound like you're on that phone still, though. That's it. Hey, Wondering Dutch, how you been, buddy? Damn it, Dutch, how you been? It's good to have you on the show, man. And you reached out to me yesterday. I was like, yeah, I told Dutch I'd have him on, and Fonz actually isn't going to be here for a couple weeks. He's kind of moving around and stuff. And again, if you don't follow Fonz, follow him there, man. You can follow my feed and other RDX posts, but our best hopes and wishes go out to Fonz. He's definitely still part of the show. I want him to be part of the show. If he wants to be part of the show, I 100,000,000% want him to. He's, a good friend, so he'll be back. Don't worry. But Dutch is here this week, and I wanted to introduce Dutch. How you been, buddy?
I've been good. When the news broke over this end, I was on the way to work, and all you lot were in bed, so... It's been a long day and a lot to take in.
You think we were in bed? You think we were?
You think, yeah.
Hey, shout out to BC, by the way. Says, hey, Tim Dog, what's up, Keegs? I don't know exactly what that means. And Keegs! And then Frosted that shit says, Phil might be pissed about the leak. He hasn't retweeted anything about the Series S. That is kind of odd. Tim, why do you think, has he really not retweeted anything?
He hasn't. I think. I don't think you read into it. I think I could say that I know for a fact that the reaction, they've taken the reaction and they've noticed it. So I think they're happy in that case. But you know, he's possibly pissed. I mean, how many times do they have to leak something? And you know, they maybe had a plan to do something. I don't know. I didn't ask him about that. But I think they're happy overall with the response.
I think they're happy with the response, but I don't think they're happy with the leak. I think they didn't want to go before Sony did.
Yeah.
And I think that now it gives Sony a move. Like Sony has time to do something, move around, or now they know what's out there, right? So,
well, I mean, what do you expect though, right? I mean, you wait this long, and you're kind of pushing your luck as it is, right? Yeah, things always leak, so.
And the guy that bust this out, Brad Sams, said, "So Sony, are you going to announce your stuff, or should we?" And he put that like, "Should we just do it for you?" kind of thing. So I think a lot of these journalists are kind of not giving a shit anymore, and they're just like, "Fuck it."
Yeah, and also Tom Warren said this is going to be some week, so they might have that information and they're sitting on it. So we don't know. I mean, but for them to have the whole marketing video beforehand, I mean. They had new servers. This is Microsoft. I mean, come on.
That's what I was saying. I don't know how much it really is a real leak or if it's a controlled leak, because we have a rumor circulating that Sony is going to present the PlayStation 5 tomorrow, and they're going to let us know the price, and they're going to open up the pre-orders and the release date. So this would kind of make sense. And another thing
that's it. I was going to say, just to cut you in there, the UK shop Game Guildford's, which is obviously one of the large retail stores here for Game, and they tweeted out that Sony is announcing price and release date tomorrow.
So there you go. And that video just kind of dropping right afterwards, it was just all a little too smooth for me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how much it is a real leak, because before even Microsoft released that video, somebody else released that video on the net. So I think it's a good thing for Microsoft. I think it puts a monkey wrench in Sony's plans tomorrow, because if they had a higher price point in mind for the all digital PlayStation 5, in all honesty, I do believe that the Lockhart device, and especially seeing the internet's reaction to it, might change the price tag of that console. At least if they're smart, it should. So.
Yeah. Let me give a shout out to Wumby Hood. This motherfucker just dropped a $100 super chat. Shout out to you, buddy. He says, hit that like button and share this out. Yeah, guys, if you haven't already, hit the like button, share it out. We got about 1,600 people already watching. We do appreciate it, guys. Seriously. So show a buddy or two, hit the like button. We appreciate it. It really helps. Nano says, shout out to RDX for keeping us on the loop on the facts first. And huge thanks to Colt for making me a winner. With RDX, we're all winners. You're all winners. We make each other winners. This is like an awesome community. So we built something really cool here, guys. We appreciate it. Shout out to Mikey Barr in the chat. He has the blue wrench for a reason. That is the real Ybarra. We'd love to have you on, buddy. But again, guys, I mean, this is, we could go over the information as well. We'll come back to what Dutch was saying, Sony's event, what they're going to do to respond, how they could possibly try to match something like this. Because at the end of the day, Black Friday has shown us over and over, even with the Xbox All Digital, which was really a pilot program for this thing, that price is kind of number one here. So let me announce some of this stuff, or let me go through this topic, or let me give a shout out real quick. I forgot to do this, and I'm kind of running low on sleep, so I did forget. But I gave a shout out to a patient, shout out to you real quick, just because he jumped into things. KY Bob, shout out to you, buddy. We got Wakanda XNT, All Might, Goose 8402, DT Baggins, Straw Hat Khalifa, Bad Boy Live, Assassin Lupa, Alec Gamer 4, Frost did that shit, Tony Stark RDX, Foreign Object, Gab Quisteo, John Blue. We've also got Vec Boss, Deviator X, Real Deal, Neil, Suicide King, Tasteless Genie, Michael Bowen, Guillermo Cabillo, and A Squad Gaming. Thank you so much. Do appreciate it. I am sorry. So, yes, they did actually. First, it leaked, thanks to Brad Sams, and really a guy on Twitter, I guess, sent it to Sams. And this whole, I thought it was an Xbox adaptive controller at first that somebody had mocked to look like, now it's just the Xbox with a speaker on the side of it. I wonder what song it plays, but still, like, Xbox Series X did leak, and we were kind of told this thing is definitely legitimate, blah, blah, blah. And then Microsoft said, well, okay, let's make it official. Something else leaked. So it did leak. It's all official. If you go back to my video from today, the link's in there to the official post. It is $299 and $249 in the UK, which is a phenomenal
Yep.
value. Dars was extremely happy about that. Dutch, I'm sure you're probably happy that they're going to adjust some of that stuff for the regions. They did confirm, however, that it is only a 500 gigabyte SSD, which we had mentioned was a possibility before. We weren't sure exactly how big of a possibility. So half a terabyte, not a terabyte. Remember, this thing is already pretty ridiculous for $300. It does have ray tracing, though it will be less capable. It's got less CUs than the Xbox Series X. We don't know exactly what they're doing there compared to the Series X, but it does have ray tracing. I wouldn't imagine they would have put the money into it to do that if it were not at least, usable in some form or another. They did confirm that you will see 120 frames per second on this box. I talked about this multiple times. 1080p 120 frames completely possible on this box thanks to that new, much faster CPU and substantially just unlocked GPU because of that CPU. You've got the power. There's a trend still, Colt. No matter how much I say it, no matter how much you say it, people see 4 and that it's less than 6, and they think it's worse than the Xbox One X. And people who listen to the show know that, right? You have known that for years, right? But at the end of the day, like, this is a newer architecture. Think of it as, hey, I get more pixels, frames, effects for my T-flop, right? That's the most simple way I can break it down. So 4, you get the work of just over 6, and if you didn't think about it, you wouldn't even be able to play your back compat games at the right frame rates as they were meant to be played if it weren't at least as powerful as the X on the GPU side. So when you see people talking about how this is worse than the X, Jesus.
Yeah, they're doing simple math, which is why they're simpletons. But everybody who knows that when you jump into new architecture, we're already looking at going from Turing to Ampere with NVIDIA. They're showing incredible leaps beyond the same, quote unquote numbers when you can't compare them side by side. So just the simple fact that this is a new architecture over the Xbox One and PS4 era, you should understand that a 4 teraflop Xbox Series S is highly capable over what the Xbox One X, just with that processor. Yeah. Just to have like double the frame rates on almost any game that would run on an X should be able to run at 60 because of the processor alone. But with the new architecture, you're going to see some new advancements. So that's the interesting thing that'll be coming up as they, there's going to be more things to count than just resolution on these boxes.
Yeah.
It's really crazy.
Let me give a shout out to Tony. What's going on? Shout out to Sean. Shout out to Tony. He says, been about time they actually gave us some of this info. He says also greetings to everybody. Cool to live here. What did he say? Cool to be live here? Okay, so you're watching live there is what you mean, with a broken thumb. Hey man, appreciate you checking in. Appreciate you watching us. Seriously though, again, I just want to reiterate, it's not less capable. It may have less RAM, but you got to remember that doesn't mean the bandwidth is less. And also, this thing has an entire velocity architecture's worth of memory multipliers and virtual memory space using the SSD and the compression blocks, just like the X does, right? So this isn't, it's not exactly apples to apples here. So just remember that. I can't believe there are still people saying this. To this day, they're saying it's a pointless console because it's less powerful, not knowing that, there's a reason people come here for this stuff. So
yeah, everything's more powerful. The shaders are better. It's just a better, it's a more efficient system. You're gonna get more power out of it. You just can't compare the two architectures. Colt's right. Just like NVIDIA stepped up with the Ampere architecture, you can't compare it to the Turing architecture because it will outperform it. And a 4 teraflop Series S is going to outperform the Xbox One X. And I would even go so far to say that some of the games, I know they're targeting 14 up to 1440p resolution, but that's with the current generation games, with the next generation games that are coming out. The current generation games that run on the Xbox One X, I would expect a lot of them to run native 4K on the Series S, just because it's a more capable system. And of course, those games were designed for the Xbox One X, which is less powerful, and it'll scale up. So I think it's a win-win. $299, that price point there. Like I seen a lot of Sony guys today say, you know what, holy shit, I'm gonna have to grab one of those because for $300, it's just like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Completely, absolutely no-brainer. Well, I've had this argument as well, and it's not just down to the basics that you look into, but the subtle differences, of course, between the two machines is the RAM has changed quite significantly. It's not like in the series, the 1S, it's still DDR4, I do believe. It's not DDR5, so that's jumping from 4 to 6.
Hang on. You're off in the mini mart somewhere, man. DDR4.
So miles away again. DDR. I'm sure the 1S is still DDR4 RAM.
1S is DDR3. And
Is
it
it?
uses the ESRAM cache to double its bandwidth, yeah.
Dear me. So there you go. It's an even bigger jump on RAM, let alone the actual architecture itself. And that's going to make a massive difference.
Yeah, you're going from DDR3 to not only a gaming memory VRAM, basically, like PS4 uses GDDR5. This is going to be using GDDR6, obviously, and it's going to be substantially faster per gig. But on top of that virtual memory is huge this generation. It's going to be pretty big, so it's hard to compare that kind of stuff. The number might be lower on how many gigs it has, but it has a lot more capability there as well through velocity. Yep. So it'll be interesting to see what they do there.
What would you guys compare the Series S GPU to on desktop right now? If you had to...
Just compare it to the Xbox One X. It's very similar. So any game that the Xbox One X runs at 4K 30, the Series S is probably going to run it slightly better than that, just a little bit. It's designed to be very similar in power, so it can run those back-compat enhanced games without tanking frame rates, right?
Wouldn't it be really like more in comparison? Because obviously the what was it, the Series X in comparison to the 2080, so I would say the 2060 then for the Series S.
This would be a good time to rebar just said.
What do you say? Go ahead.
Hold on, I gotta find it. Jeez, where to go?
I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just breaking it down for people to listen. You got an Xbox One X today. It's going to run everything, perfectly, but it'll also have 60 FPS open world games and better effects and physics and particles. You're getting a good leap there.
Yeah, the CPU is one of the best leaps in it, right? That's the whole point of it. Like that's something that people talked about with this generation, right? That the Xbox One X, it's like it has all the GPU you need, has a lot of the power, but it's that Jaguar bottleneck of the CPU that's really held the system back. It's held a lot of games back, and now we don't have that holdback with the Series S. That's what I'm looking forward to the most.
Mike Barra said, Series S is smart, plays to the high-end pro gamer who cares about frames over anything, and they all play at 1080p to 1440p.
So that's right from Mike Ibarra. He helped give birth to this thing, so... Gabar's saying that basically frame rate is very important, and that's why they have emphasized next generation performance. That's what they mean by that. Next generation frame rates. So not only 60, but 120 as well, even on the low end boxes I've been talking about. And again, when you see something like an open world game for the first time on console running at a solid 60 FPS, looking absolutely gorgeous, when Ubisoft decides to get off their fucking ass and actually unlock a frame rate, I mean, you would be blown away at the difference that makes in a game like that. But it's ultimately up to developers. But it is a capable machine for $300. I mean, you got not only 16 threads, you got an SSD, you got fucking ray tracing. You've also got, seriously, you've got all this capability for $300, and I'm pretty sure it comes with a sandwich maker. So I mean, seriously, I feel like people have gotten that from this announcement, and that's why there's more hype around this almost than the Xbox One X, right? Because they kind of, or the Xbox Series X, because they told you everything kind of at once, right?
Yeah. I think. Listen, I've noticed that there's been surprisingly, and I think even somebody in the chat who had a super chat said he was you have a ton of super chats. One by Wilmy Hood for $100.
Yeah, I got that one. I'm pretty sure I got that one. Yeah.
But the thing that I've taken is that a lot of Sony guys who are quick to just like put down, like they see that price and they're like, shit, that could be my second console. That maybe, I don't have a pretend PC. So I think that it's gotten a lot of people who you wouldn't think kind of like saying, this is a good price, especially in the UK. I mean, the people in the UK for $250 or whatever it is, they are like, what the hell? Like, you're talking about the PS4 Pro's been priced at $399 for the last 3 years. The Xbox Series S, when it first came out, was $399. This is a next generation console with an SSD with RDNA 2 technology at $299. The price is just what brings people in. And from all the stuff that I've seen Xbox do, this is the first time where I've seen people like just like say, wow, like, you know, they did it, or wow, and price speaks.
Well, they kept listening to all these fucking bullshit articles talking about how next gen is going to be so much more expensive than you think, right? And we're sitting here again.
Now does that set an unrealistic expectation for PS5 and the digital? I think it does a little, but $299 is just insanity. I mean, even though that we said that was going to happen, I kind of always thought that they would probably foot the bill for the loss on the X with the S and said maybe they go $349. But if they nailed it with $299, and you just got to call it the way it is.
Well, and it's not even just the $299 price point, right? Because that honestly, like, imagine $299, and then when they have holiday sales next year, like how much that's going to be. Like it's almost an impulse buy. But the big thing that they talked about, and you know, they put in the Windows Central article, is the financial thing with the $25 or $35. Like you can literally go into a store, put $25 down, and walk out with hundreds of games and a new system. Like that's insane. Like that is such a selling point that it's almost like it's like too good to be true, right? Like you pay $25 every month, but it's nothing.
Though, if you think, same applies for the Series X though. It's exactly the same. If you're going into the store even at $499 for the PlayStation 5, you still have to fork out $60, $70 per game for every game that you need. Plus extra peripherals with
Series new controller.
X. Yeah, exactly. Plus whatever charging things you want, plus whatever other additionals you're going to get. Again, Series X, everything works that you've already had before. You don't need to buy an additional controller because it works fine with all of next gen's games. It doesn't get cut off.
Yeah.
And Game Pass covers all launch titles, excluding, of course, some third party. So you're covered regardless. There isn't going to be any massive price because all you're getting is you're paying for your Game Pass Ultimate, you're paying for the console, that's it, done. PlayStation 5, on the other hand, you're paying for the console, and then the money starts getting tooled up.
Oh, hey, it's Major Nelson in the chat. Shout out to you. Yeah, that was again, if you weren't around during the July show, Major Nelson did jump on the show and talk to us about some stuff. And good. I'm gonna add him as a moderator too, because I know that's the real Major Nelson. I want to make sure that we have the real people mod, because all these guys have so many fake accounts. Everyone wants to be Mike Ibarra. At least 9 people want to be Mike Ibarra.
Remember we banned Mike?
I banned Mike because I thought he was the fake one, and then I found out he wasn't the fake one because he messaged me on Twitter.
Accidental. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so shout out to Major Nelson, shout out to Mike Ibarra, and again, yeah, it's a great point. You can kind of, in a way, again, mention this in multiple videos, subsidize your purchase of a next-gen console, right? You can look at, if Halo came out, which it did, you know, it's not, but if it did, you would have basically like shaved $60 off your purchase if you were a Game Pass member. You could have kind of justified it like that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, again, there's a lot of capability here. They did confirm the 500 gig SSD, which you know, it's a lot of value either way, guys. You can still play every game you have today off externals, and if you want to expand with the cartridge, you can do that. But it's ultimately up to you. Yep. A lot of transferring, or you're gonna have to get the expandable thing. But they did again say $299. They did confirm the half a gig SSD. They did confirm that it shares velocity across the two systems, obviously, right? They did confirm 120 frames per second. They confirmed BRS. They confirmed all of these RDNA 2 features that make the system a true RDNA 2 system. And then they did confirm really November 10th release date on top of that. So November 10th, this system will be out. And I would only imagine the Xbox Series X would be out the same day, right?
Hey, since we have Mike and Major Nielsen in the chat there, I'd like to ask them if they could answer in the chat if the all access for these consoles is coming to Canada, because we can't seem to find any literature for it here. And also I want to add that the Game Pass, adding Game Pass with the Xbox Series S at $299, I don't know, man. I think these things are going to be really hard to find this holiday season. I think it's going to be a hot item because you're getting hundreds of games. You're getting first-party games. You're going to get third-party games that will run on this system at a higher frame rate than the Xbox One X and with features that don't exist on that console. For $299, I really believe this is a game changer for the next generation, addressing budget gamers.
And remember, like, we kept saying, look, they got the price covered because of the Lockhart, and they've got the power because of Series X. And people are like, no, Phil said there wasn't one. And it's like, guys, you don't understand how they're using these loophole words, right? So, you know, that's how they're covering the price, and that's how they're covering the power. And $399, there's just no getting around it. I don't see Sony competing with that price. And I feel like even $50 is enough to sway somebody. Oh, these are both next-gen systems. They play all the newest games, but this is $50 cheaper. I don't really understand what the difference between 1080p or 1440 and 4K is, or this or that. I'm going to get the Xbox. It comes with 200 games in Game Pass. I could see people being swayed by just $50, let alone $100. You know what I'm saying? So PS5 comes in at $4 with the diskless model. Maybe they're coming in higher. Reports keep saying their prices are getting jacked out of control. Who knows, man? I mean, Microsoft might even try to match them on the high end just for parity, but at the end of the day, like that's, I don't know. Major Nelson, if you guys know if it's coming to Canada, I guess I'll let D know. He's over there quivering in his little boots.
He said that he has nothing to report on that today.
Gotcha.
Okay, thank you.
Major Nelson shows me the chat. Already getting questions.
And the Barron said, "How the hell do I know?"
I'll take a free coat on all the games you're developing over there, though, and overseeing. I'll take those, though.
Yeah, good luck. None of them got no mocap right now. Man, we need some games for sure. I'm over here playing Avengers, like, woo, rough times.
So I was gonna say with you were talking about all the features that are coming to the Series S that are also on the Series X with velocity architecture and quick resume, and I thought it'd be pretty cool with the Series S with a 512 gigabyte SSD. You'll be able to quick resume every game in your library because that's about all it'll be able to hold.
Yeah.
Not if you have Ori and Ori 2 installed.
So that's crazy. I want to talk about that because I don't think I ever assumed that the Series S would have a smaller SSD
Either.
But it does, and it really speaks to what they did to make sure that console was $299, which was something they probably had planned for a long time. And Mike Barra said in the chat a while ago, he said that it's the volume SKU. Yeah. And so a lot of people are like, who's going to buy this underpowered console? And the simple answer is millions.
Yeah.
Millions of people are going to buy this console.
98%.
And now, I mean, we've been talking about this supposed Lockhart in Series S for almost 2 years.
Over 2 years. Yeah.
And more than ever, I want to buy one to have that as an additional console to see what it can do and try it out and see what it does on its own, because it's really going to make games look amazing.
More than capable. There's going to be. I mean, I'm going to get another one for the living room, so I'm going to get that for the living room. And you've seen the game room upstairs on mine, so the Series X is going in the game room.
We'd be doing a disservice if we didn't mention DirectML. They're using machine learning to drastically reduce the size of games. So essentially, you can install something that is not even close to a UHD texture, and through machine learning, they can, because of the I/O speed of the box, they can instantly up-res and scale those textures in real time as long as they're set to a predetermined template or something like that. They are fighting back against file sizes, and they are also using what was that other one called where it would only install the audio pack of your region. Not smart delivery, right? But it was something else, intelligent delivery or something. They're doing stuff like that.
I got a couple of these chats, these paid chats. Lindsay McClown for $20. It's now a week later and still nothing from Xbox on showing off SX. Not even a tech demo, no third-party demo. Either what is happening at Xbox. Also, Wilmy Hood with another $100. Hit that button and share this out.
I think that's the same one, man. Yeah, I think it's the same one.
I don't know. It just showed up, but
gotcha.
You got a ton of these, so I'm just trying to give you a little. But I mean, for me, I think it's like I said, the price is the winner here, and we can say all these things, but SSDs cost $100, and you're actually getting a console with an SSD for $300. The Xbox, the CPU, the 3700 is, I believe, $300 for AMD. That is also in this, and you also have a GPU, and you also have a console, and not to mention you can use your old Xbox controllers. Listen, if you're going to be honest about this, is Xbox really, aside from, and I talked to a couple of people about this, and they can agree, aside from Halo, if they had Halo, this would be like a slam dunk.
Yeah.
But aside from Halo, they got a lot of things right, so you got to give them, you got to give them some props, and they do definitely got to show off. And I think that this is all coming. I think Sony's going to go. I think Xbox is going to go. Tom Warren, Brad Sams, they were all saying there's a bunch of stuff coming this week. So just hold your horses.
Yeah, it's the last piece of the puzzle. The last piece of the puzzle is showing off that gameplay. That's all we need now, to be fair.
There was only two negatives that I really saw from today. Like, obviously, the price is awesome. We're getting it November 10th. We got a bunch of good news. I know some people are probably going to get at me for this, but I didn't really like the grill on the top. And it's not the grill itself. It's
You mean the
color.
speaker?
Yeah, I think they should have made that the same color as the console. If you have a black console coming, make it black. The white version, it should be white. I don't like that color scheme there. That's the only thing I didn't like about the console itself.
Yeah.
And the shortcomings of the SSD inside of the Series S. I think that had to be made for the price, like everyone was saying. But I think there is some good news on the horizon because prices of SSDs are starting to really come down low. And I'm thinking that the external SSD offerings from Seagate that Microsoft's going to have for these consoles, I don't think they're going to be as expensive as we first anticipated them to be. I think they're going to be a lot more reasonable than we're anticipating.
I've always thought those would be $100.
Yeah, I think we might even see them at $79.99 because we don't know the type of deal that they have in place with them because of course they're doing it at bulk. And like I said, SSD prices have really been falling, so I'm hoping for a really competitive price. I think $79.99 would be a good price. But you could be right; it could be $100, and even that is not a bad price for an SSD.
No. And you'll be able to carry that from your X to your S or whatever back and forth. Yabar does agree the grill should be white, and I was thinking, I was like, why isn't it? Like, that's such a weird thing. Microsoft, they got a very clean design team over there, and I'm like, what is stopping that from? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it the injection molding that the grill's not part of that, and they lift it off of the grill? But even then, what's stopping them from painting the barbecue grill or the speaker rather? I mean, I don't know.
I'm selling white paint on my website if you want to go check out www.whitexboxseriesSpaint.com.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to almost 2,800 people already watching, guys. Hit the like button if you haven't. Share this out with a buddy or two. And again, thank you for what you guys do, 2,800. And we do have some more great topics to go, guys. So, Tim, what were you about to say?
No, Mike said that when he was there, it was white. So I honestly think that it was changed because you have Xbox One Series S. And that's still going to be sold. I believe that's going to be there. That's going to be still around, at least for a while. And they didn't maybe want to have they wanted to differentiate each other because that console kind of looks like the Xbox One S, but the black thing was, I think, just to kind of differentiate. It definitely is something that should have been even if it was green. I think that people would have liked it a little bit more. But I mean. It's not a big deal to me.
Yeah, at the end of the day, sorry, not to cut you off, but at the end of the day, I'm just nitpicking. At the end of the day, we're going to look at that console a few times in the beginning, rip off the plastic, say, ooh, take pictures, post on Instagram, Twitter. And then after that, we're never going to look at the console again, pretty much. It's what it can deliver, and that's the most important thing. And if
mine anyway, because mine gets just torn apart the moment I get it. So.
Lazy Lion says in the future, trading games is made possible. He says it makes sense to create an Xbox that respects backwards compatibility. Yeah, I mean, definitely. Cole, what were you saying?
I was saying you should follow Wandering Dutch on Twitter. He does custom controllers and consoles. He hand paints them and builds them up and themes them for games and different things like that. And pretty cool stuff. It's worth checking out, definitely.
He's going to get a lot of business for the S, like for the Series S. I can guarantee you that. For the grill.
Yeah,
that's getting changed. Straight away.
Oh man, hopefully developers leverage both boxes. I hear the dev kits are integrated like with the Xbox One X and the original. I again double down on the fact on those that say that it's a pointless console when in fact it is, as Mike said, it's the volume mover. It's the same people that bought the original Xbox One in 2013 went out and got a fucking Xbox One S. Then they went out and got an Xbox One X. Now they're saying, what's the point of the Xbox Series S, right? It's the new Xbox One S, right? So it's kind of nuts that people can't just like sit down and think about this stuff they're saying while they're sitting there turning on their base model Xbox or after they've upgraded to their high-end Xbox, right?
Which is stupid because the same thing happens on the PC. You got your 2060, you got your 1660 Ti, and those cards outsell the big cards. They outsell the freaking the 2080 Ti's and the 2080s. It's the lower end cards because they're affordable, and a lot of PC gamers are still playing at 1080p. A lot of them have jumped up to 1440p, but most of them are not on 4K. So there is an actual market for this, and let's not forget that this has the console has FreeSync, it has variable refresh rate. They can hook it up to a monitor. You know, you can hook it up to a TV. It's like $299. Are you kidding me? Come on.
It's pretty incredible, man. It really is. Smooth Vante says he thinks the speakers on the side of it to prevent confusion with other products. I mean, that seems kind of odd, but yeah, I mean, their cell phones, all of them look the same. People still figure it out. So
I don't think it's confusing, but it does. It's the only differentiating feature from the all digital console and the Xbox One S. Like, they look so similar. I was talking to Albert Pinello about why don't they just take the cases they're thermoforming from the all digital and continue running them down the line and throw the Series S in them. And he said, I think they're going to do their own case, and it looks like they have, but they already had that design, the machine set up to do that. I thought maybe this is another way to save money, but I mean, that's what it's going to look like.
Let me give a shout out to Lazy Ass Gamer real quick, because he's serving overseas with the U.S. Air Force. Shout out to you, brother. In Japan, he says, will I be able to subsidize the Xbox Series X? Normally, companies make it very difficult for U.S. personnel serving overseas. Something Phil's talked about, and again, I don't know, but something he's talked about is not leaving Japan behind this time. So you might be able to just go and pick one up. I don't know.
They're committed to a global launch. So
yeah,
they launched in like half the regions that PlayStation did in 2013.
Yeah, they're not messing around with that global launch. I think they even said that a lot of those access, the $25, $35 a month thing is going to be like everywhere also, that as many places they can get it in. They're not trying to mess around with this launch because the Xbox One X or the Xbox One was very staggered. Yep. And so I don't think they want to do that at all. They want to get as many hands as possible when you get it.
Tier 3.
Cubini says, please don't skip super chats, but I understand that I'm not skipping them intentionally. Can't keep up, man. You got 3,000 people in the chat right now, so it's impossible. I'm gonna try to cover the ones that I see, and obviously if somebody drops a fuck ton of money to support the show like that, then I'm obligated to get to someone that just did that. That's fucking, I try to get to them all, but I can't. Okay, I'm only human. So
Dealer has me on them sometimes, and like it's just ridiculous how much comes in.
Yeah, let us know in the chat. I caught one last week that we weren't able to get to, and I was able to read it. But
Microsoft, we're just to kind of double down and wrap up this first topic. Microsoft, again, they harped on next gen performance. You got ray tracing, you got all the RDNA 2 features, you got the velocity architecture, the SSD, the Zen 2 16 thread CPU, and you're getting all of that. Again, next gen performance means you're getting better frame rates in most all games. That's what they mean by that. And it will not be held back because all Xbox games are already on PC. The lowest common denominator you'll be able to play these games on PC will be probably, lower spec than the Lockhart. Lockhart's not holding anything back.
Stay on that, dealer, because that was one of those things I should have brought to your attention before the show. The head of Treyarch, or one of the heads of Treyarch, said that the Series S is a bottleneck for developers.
Compared to what?
Can you talk about that?
What? How specific was he?
He's meaning that it's a bottleneck to where they have to design for a lower end SKU when they could just build for the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. That's what he's referring to. I don't know why they're doing this now. The bottleneck in development is
now. Did he say that specifically? Because there are multiple types of bottleneck. There's manpower. There's the pain of having to develop for another system, but they already do it today. I don't know why they're complaining about that.
I know. That's why I wanted you to address it.
It would not technically be a bottleneck if his game is on PC. And now we're going from x86 to x86 for the first time ever in consoles. That machine language just carries over. I'd imagine it's easier than ever to develop for. But I mean, hey, he's a developer. I would have to have more context, but from a technical requirement, I don't see why it would be a bottleneck.
No, it's I don't think so. It's just like any new architecture that comes out. You got the new Ampere GPUs that come out. The lower end 360 is not going to hold back, the 380 or the 390 because they all kind of share similar feature sets. It'll just scale accordingly. Yep. The same is going to happen with the Series S. Now, if it was based off the previous architecture, then it wouldn't be able to handle these new games that are dealing with, the SSD with the velocity architecture that are capable of doing ray tracing and machine learning. But this is not the case here. And I think also the Series S may make a case for Microsoft's machine learning. We know they're doing it with the resolutions. Apparently, they're going to have a DLSS-like solution, and the Series S would be the perfect candidate, the perfect console to implement that type of technology. So, no, I don't think it's going to hold it back. It's just not going to have. Maybe it might have less features, and obviously the resolution is not going to be as high. But overall, it should not hold it back.
Yabar says PC and console builds of games are very different, and hey, again. All I know is that it should be easier to port and scale than ever, and that's, I feel like we've had developers on here saying the same thing. I don't know exactly what the bottleneck would be. Maybe Ibarra would know. Maybe he could tell us, because if the game's coming to, maybe they mean a manpower bottleneck or something. If you have to port,
I know that he's talking about the bottleneck because they have to take the time to pare it down for the Series S when they've built this great version for the X and the PS5, which. But we know that they're working, when they build the Xbox version, they're building on the dev kit, or they're testing it on the dev kit, and they can switch between the two. That's what we need to know, is like, how much time does it take a developer to take the Series X version and say, okay, now we need to pare it down.
We just need to quarter the resolution, reduce the ray tracing here and there, blah, 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 right?
Yeah, like how much time does that take? If he's whining about his team taking a week or two to get the Series S version optimized, and they're in that much of a time crunch where that bottlenecks their team, where they wish that the Series S never existed.
So Mike just said it right there. Mike just said it's just time and cost. So that's kind of what I was thinking. If it's a manpower bottleneck, or like a time, like I guess they're kind of the same thing, time and cost. You're paying people to do this stuff, and it takes time. Not a hardware bottleneck, but a manpower bottleneck, or a time and cost bottleneck.
They've been doing it the entire gen, and they do it the entire gen through on PC every year. So it's, to me, it's nonsensical to come out with quotes like that these days.
Well,
yeah, they are already doing it for the base Xbox One all the way up to the Xbox One X and the PS4
That's
Pro.
why I say you have to be very specific when somebody says a bottleneck, because I mean, I was just offering my opinion. I wouldn't see why there's a technical bottleneck. But again, that's why I figured it's a manpower, or something like Barb was saying, time and cost. And
a company like Treyarch have got plenty of money to spend on doing things like that. I'm sorry.
Sell some more haircuts in 2K.
I've got a super chat really quick. Purified Storm says, "Hey Xbox family, Purified Storm from Twitter here. Why hasn't Xbox officially announced Series X price and date yet?"
Hang on. Let me get to what Yabar just said, because and really he's right. Yabar says that don't let any developer tell you it's an issue. Series S is good for consumers. It is low price, 1440p, 120 frames per second, $300. Good for everyone. Sell more games, and that's another thing. Like, they should want a low cost option like this to enable their game to sell more, right? They do it today, and unless Sony has some kind of magical system we haven't heard about, they'll be doing it less so this upcoming generation, at least for a while, because Sony don't have a Pro right now like Xbox have a premium model.
You know what the PlayStation have got, though, if you have a think about it, because I don't expect them to get anywhere near the Series S price, and I don't think anybody does. That's impossible. But they've went for the all digital version, but literally just PS5 with no disc. That's the only tear down they've got on that console. So the difference in price is going to be far less compared to the big model. So I'm expecting that PS5 digital to kind of be the happy medium in between. So someone who wants to continue with big performance, but not kind of be able to pay outright for the highest spec model, which is going to be the Series X. You've got that at the very top of the scale, then you've got the Series S at the bottom of the scale in terms of performance, and then you've got PS5s, both versions bang in the middle. So you've got a wide variety of pricing you're going to go for there and capabilities.
Yabar says I'm always right, dealer, right? Yeah, you are. Shout out to Mike again, just for even giving his input in the chat. Honestly, so Mike basically summed it up, hey, it's manpower cost, and no matter what anyone says, it's not a bad thing. It's a great value. It enables developers to sell more games, and it makes the hobby bigger. So I would have to agree with that. I don't see a technical reason why it would be a bottleneck, but again, I would have to have specifics from the developer. It's not that I know more than any developer. I'm just giving my opinion. I'd have to know exact specifics on what they mean by bottleneck. There are a ton of different ways you can be bottlenecked in producing a game, and we've talked to developers about that stuff as well. So, yeah, when it comes down to it, it's looking to be a very capable system. Again, $299, half a terabyte SSD, ray tracing, 120 frames per second, all the RDNA 2 features like VRS, etc. BRR. It comes out November 10th. It will offer next-gen performance, meaning 60 FPS on big open-world games, kind of like a PC, right? But some around 1080p or even 1440, depending on the game and how much ray tracing is utilizing. And it will not hold back Series X if that same game is on PC, according to the logic that I've been given by some of these guys around here. So, again, there was a Kotaku article. Apparently, Zaka, they can't live with the name of it for some reason. It's very confusing, but they're fine with the 17 galaxies every year. What's the deal with this? Mike, why is the name so confusing? What? I don't understand.
How are they confused? Like they're confused that it's called the Series S and then the X. Like what are they confused about?
I feel like they're confused as to how to stand out, and that's why the article exists.
It sounds like bullshit. Like, come on, there's like 85 different Samsung phones, 65 different, iPhones.
I'm confused.
You're gonna complain about a console?
Did they do this every time a new Apple comes out?
Get your head out of your ass. That's I don't know, man. It's dumb. It's actually a good name. Like it's Series S or the Series X, and they kind of keep it very simple. That's what you get. It's the Xbox family, and there's 2 consoles. You pick which one you want, and it'll tell you what it has. And they've kind of marketed it very well, and now it's about just executing that marketing and putting it out there for people to actually know what the hell they're buying.
Librelius, by the way, says the bottleneck will be the 300 gigabyte download of a game. Yeah. Who knows, man?
And can we talk about like the date, like November 10th? I think
November 10th, Soccer. What is that? Is that a Tuesday? Is that a Monday night? What is that? Is that going to come out that Monday night?
It's a great Tuesday.
That's a Tuesday, man. That's. I think that's a pretty good date because I don't know.
So it'll come out that Monday at midnight, right? 11.
Yeah, I think you can go pick it up probably. I don't know. I'm gonna order mine online.
Because that's. I mean, we were talking random stuff about this, and I was like, well, they dropped the Xbox One X on like a Monday night because I remember, or a Tuesday or something. I don't remember, man. It's kind of hazy, but they. Yeah, it doesn't have to be on a weekend, right? So you can't get it to midnight like a game, right?
Yeah, like I think you can. Like it's midnight like a game, depending on if your store is open or not. Obviously with everything going around in the world, but. I think that it's actually a really good date. Like it's beginning of November. It's like right there, smack dab in the middle of all these big games coming out that, they've been advertising like, hey, it's going to be Series X, like modified for you. I don't know. And I don't see Sony or anybody going like, yeah, well, we're coming out November 9th, bitch. Like Price is Right. Like I don't see that happening. Like it would have to be either the 17th or, I think that it kind of shows that maybe Sony is coming out on the 17th also, because they wouldn't come out on the 24th, like right on Thanksgiving weekend. So I don't know, man. I think they picked a good spot.
Yeah, I do too. I think tomorrow, to be honest, we're gonna get Sony's.
That was Jerry's question. Do you think they're gonna actually drop that stuff tomorrow, Tim?
Yeah, I'm gonna say they are. Just because some of the things I've heard, the game tweet, this is really seeming to get a lot of attention. I don't think they would want to wait a week and then announce, or wait 2 weeks, because the more you engrave $299 in people's heads, the more that kind of sticks. And it works 2 ways. Yeah, Xbox might have a little bit of confusion for some of the morons out there that are buying tech things, but also. Some of those people are going to hear next gen. They're going to hear $299, and they're going to say, "Shut up! You get next gen. You get the new Xbox. I'm not spending $499." You know what I mean? So it goes both ways. The pricing is a huge factor. It's always been a huge factor. One of the things we haven't talked about. The thing is small. It does look like we don't like the black grill, but the thing is. It's ridiculous how small it is. You could throw it in your backpack.
You'll never even see it. It's so small.
But overall, yeah, I think that Sony is kind of in a pickle here. They gotta, I think Xbox, has got a little momentum, and this is something that they try to nip in the bud. Now, the thing is that they might not, I don't think they're going to live up to expectations of a $399 console. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I just think that that's too cheap for what they're offering. So I'm in the thing where they're going to be, 150 or 200 more than Xbox. And when you have that type of gap, and they're both new, and Xbox is offering certain things like Xbox All Access and Game Pass. You really can sway a lot of consumers that way. And believe it or not, people like to rag on Xbox, but they still know it's quality. Xbox. You're not gonna have a problem with Xbox Live if you go back to that. Game Pass. You're gonna get games, and a lot of these people also have been in the Xbox, ecosystem before. So, yeah, I think tomorrow I would expect that they're gonna have their all out push.
Chat, think about this for a minute. There hasn't been a $300 next gen system since the Xbox 360, the entry model. And if you guys remember, it had a $300 and a $400 SKU. Sony came in with a $500 and $600 SKU. They were only known for ever being $600. It was a monumental mistake, though. They did manage to make SKU after SKU that reduced their cost, and they shed features and back compat to do so. Very interesting generation. They learned a big lesson there, and that's part of why they are actually going with the architectures we're on now. Dark CMF says, the kids weren't in bed on time. Missed the first half of the show. Can you go ahead and restart now? No, sir. But the beauty of it is that you can catch the rerun. Major Nelson was in here. We had a lot of people in here. He might still be here. You can catch the rerun and catch the first half.
Greenberg. I think Aaron Greenberg's in the chat now, so shout out to him.
Greenberg. Let me find him so I can.
If you see him, make him a mod.
Yeah, let me mod all these. Make him a mod
for sure.
Let's mod all of these.
Tell Aaron to ban half these guys. No.
Jesus.
We have to mod.
He's up there a ways. Aaron, you better say something again so we can see you show up.
Aaron.
He's like, hey, and he's out.
We love you, Aaron.
He's playing Flight Simulator.
There he is, Aaron Green. He's playing Flight Simulator, driving. I know he's driving to Long Island wineries and driving around there.
Long Island wineries? Is that what you said?
Yeah, he loves. He said he's excited. Good man, Aaron. I see it right here. You see him?
Yeah.
Can I make him a mod?
There he is.
Yeah, you might be able to. I'm sorry, I'm multitasking here. I'm trying to keep the
Look at
damn
that Sean LeBrie logo he's rocking.
Yeah. Sean LeBrie. Sean's the best.
Mike said, can I ban Aaron?
Oh my god. But seriously, I mean, at the end of the day, like, the system looks awesome. It aside from the damn speaker on the side that only plays Miley Cyrus for some reason. Other than that, I mean, it's a hell of a package for the money. I don't know what Kotaku were on about with the naming scheme. I feel like it's common sense.
They're always stupid with that shit.
Tim's got the nunchucks out. Shit.
These guys don't even know.
They're always stupid. Like, they just want to be risque, and they want to be, those people who say something. I mean, come on. That thing was stupid in 2015.
Greenberg just said there's more to come this week, by the way.
Yep. What? You got him modded or what?
Yeah, I got him modded. I got old Greenberg modded, but yeah, Greenberg. So we've had Herb, Mike, Greenberg in the chat. Greenberg just confirmed that they are revealing some more stuff this week. What that is, we don't know. So manage expectations. But thank you so much, Aaron. I do appreciate it.
Love you.
Hey, Tim, your scream there. I got somebody that tweeted me out today to give them fair warning before you scream, because they listen in the truck. And when you scream, everyone starts staring at them. So give them
Aaron says, I don't want to ban anybody. Happy to hear the feedback. That's good. Yes. Because without honesty, all brands are doomed, right? So it's one of those things. But yeah, November 10th. And I would imagine the high-end model comes in like that. We've recapped that stuff. There's, again, I mean, honestly, Zalker, what do you think that PlayStation could reveal at whatever they're going to do, right? It could be a trailer. It could be some kind of little mini thing. They could reveal, have something going on, but they got to reveal the price. They've got to either decide to take a loss or hike the price up some. How do you think they're going to compete with something that is seemingly such a great value as the Lockhart or the Xbox Series S?
I think that competition is king for everything. I think that's Xbox coming in at $299 is going to force Sony to do something, which it's good for us gamers, only good for us, because it gives us a better price at a console I think they might go a little lower than they planned with the digital console. I think the one with the disc, they're going to keep it at $499, like it's been rumored. And I think the all digital one, they're going to bring it down a little bit. This does like because
hang on, Zach. I gotta call Others Inc. real quick. He's sucking up to Greenberg right now about this Series S. This motherfucker said it wasn't real. He for literally almost 2 years,
didn't he?
Others Inc. was telling us there's no way they would do that, and then he sit down and turned on his Xbox One S.
Oh my god.
So yeah,
why you got to kill Others Inc. like that?
I'm sorry. I got to knock at the door, so I'll be right back.
All right. Well,
we
go
like
back to
Others
the-
Inc. We've talked to
Hey,
him.
Zoc,
on
what about the
Is that
people
Yoshida? Is that Yoshida?
Oh my god.
Hey, Zocker, what about the people that say both of them are going to be $4.99? The all digital and the physical.
fuck?
Yeah,
I
I
hope
think
not.
that could be possible. No, I think
That's the old digital be $449 and
Yeah.
the disc to be $499.
That honestly,
I
if they're the same
yeah.
at the
Xbox
Series
would
X,
be
like
extremely
that's like a
maneuverable.
double. That's a double whammy win, right? Like they had the $299 for Xbox, and then the Series X, which is more powerful at the same price. Like that's fucking insane.
yeah.
Like that's not a good look for Sony. Like we're all here probably getting the PS5. I'm getting the PS5 day one.
I think the only way
Be
out.
more maneuverable and still match 449 if they really want to. If they wanted
I don't
to,
think they need to.
They don't
I
need to, but they could.
No, I think the only way out for Sony here is we're pretty much set that the disc version is going to be at $4.99. The logical thing says that the all digital version will be $4.49. Personally, I think they need to price it at $399 to help take some of the momentum
you're
away.
talking
from
about
the
You're talking about a $70 loss.
Yeah, I know,
on each
but
console.
what I'm
Maybe
saying, the
more.
reason why I say for the digital console is because if you're getting the digital console, you're forced to buy the content from Sony. So you're gonna spend money on that console. You're not gonna be renting games. You're not gonna be borrowing games from your friends. You're gonna buy your PSN now. You're gonna buy you're gonna buy all your services on the console, so they can afford to take a bigger hit there because they know they're gonna get that money back through their services. So that's the only reason why I think a $399 price tag makes sense. But logic says, in the way Sony operates and their arrogance, where they don't see Microsoft as a threat, really says it'll be $4.49. And
I think they definitely see him as a threat. That's why they're so damn quiet.
Well,
Like Apple
I
arrogant.
think also, I think Xbox hasn't announced their Series X just in case I think they have a little wiggle room there, and I don't see Sony going $399, but if they do, there's really not much Xbox can do because they can go $449, but at the end of the day, I think it's going to be like Dutch is saying, $499 and then $449. There is a shot though that it could be $549 disc, $499,
ouch.
and I think if that's the case, they got a problem. So I think that they're going to have to come in at $449
and
for the disc, which they will be losing money on that.
yes, they would.
And I think Xbox is losing money on the Series S, but I don't know how much money. I think that they talked about the BOM being $450 back in February. Then they said it even raised higher than that. By contrast, the BOM for the bill of materials for PlayStation 4 was $380, when they still sold at a loss. Because you got these things that are not encountered, like marketing and pushing out. So they still sold the PS4 at $399. And listen, I think if Sony was confident and they were at $399, they'd be announced right now.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we had talked about it a week or so ago that this stuff ain't out there because the price is still malleable in the high end, probably, huh? So who knows? I mean, it's one of those things where they're not saying it for a reason. And now that Microsoft has their low end SKU price out there, I guess Microsoft will be a little bit more apt to go ahead and put theirs out there. Yodani, by the way, says, hey, how many folks are scared to go? Hang on a second, I misread that. How many folks are scared to go to bed for fear of missing Microsoft announcing buying a new studio? I'm thinking XO is the time for that, man. Maybe that's why they held that stuff off. Also, a big shout out to Boring for becoming a channel member, and also Snakewood for becoming a channel member. Appreciate it, guys. If you want to become a channel member, hit the join button, by the subscribe button, all that good stuff. Shout out to all the channel members with the badges and the colored names, all that good stuff. Aaron's still in here answering questions for you guys too. So give Aaron a big thumbs up. Give Greenberg a thumbs up for doing that for you guys.
Lewis in the chat said, "Hey, Aaron, tell us the price of the PS5."
He just tells him, all right. Yeah, not a big deal. Also, 2,900 people watching, guys. Hit that like button if you haven't. Share it out. Help us out a little bit. We do appreciate it, guys. And you guys absolutely rock. And we've got Kirby, who's a game developer, who was cracking skulls today over this whole VRR versus variable clocks thing, which is just ridiculous, the stupidest thing I ever heard. But he says, to any Microsoft employee who might still be here, give my thanks to the DirectX team for open sourcing DirectML, TensorFlow today. So you're talking about the, I guess what they would use for RT and stuff like that, right? He says Board 2D and also Board 3D will make good use of it. So, hey, some of you guys know what that means? I don't fucking know. But he gives you his thanks. Let me go ahead and...
I'm going to say that there's a comment in from Aaron there, actually, and I think this kind of shows how I think it's quite recent that price for the Series S was decided. We realise that right now folks want next-gen gamer but might be on a tight budget, more so than usual, so want to give folks more choice and value even before Game Pass. I think that $299 price, or $249 UK, must have been decided pretty recent.
Yeah, and honestly, that's the best. I mean, it's got to feel good as Greenberg right now, getting all this positive feedback, right? It feels good even just as a fan with the that's why we're always super honest with Xbox about what we like, what we don't like, because we want this feeling more often. We want as many W's as we can get, right? We want the brand to do great. It's the ecosystem we like and all that good stuff. And when Microsoft come out and go as low as they can possibly go with a system like this, which they have pretty much done, that's always the right way, in my opinion.
There's a really good question in the chat, and I don't know if you can answer it, but they asked Aaron if Digital Foundry has seen the Series S yet, which we assume they may have. But I guess the question would be, have they seen it? Will we see something soon?
Yeah, Greenberg's like, I can't say nothing on that. Yeah, I mean,
this week.
The funniest thing is,
talk on that.
One X in the UK is still selling for £374 by itself.
Nice. Post-COVID, I am buying you all drinks.
Yeah.
One of the things that I have to say, though, and that I love about Xbox is stuff like Xbox Fan Fest and Xbox E3. Even though it's been a tough couple of months or since COVID for everyone, but one of the things that Xbox excels at is building upon that community. And Aaron's always, honestly, he's been the one that really was the first to kind of really push the needle with that, like and blur the lines between executives and fans. And it's definitely not going to Xbox Fan Fest and all this stuff. You realize how much Xbox has done for its fans, and post COVID,
you don't see it from their competitors like that.
No, you don't see that from anybody, though. You really don't see that from another big corporation like that. And I mean, I'm at a point where I know Aaron 7 years. We went to dinner. We went to football games together.
He went and saw the Notebook together.
He's just a friend. He's a friend, and that takes somebody who that's abnormal in the day and age. Usually, executives are standoffish, and rightfully so in a lot of cases. But just wanted to realize that just put it out there that we do appreciate the stuff, and if we do have E3 next year and Xbox Fan Fest, we'll try to make it because we love that stuff.
Hot Pocket Daily is talking about please fix Halo, and that's why they delayed it, man. Again, there's a reason. We were all asking for a delay when we saw it, and I think Microsoft did the right thing there. We want a better product. Keith, he says, does Tim take song requests? No, Tim does not. Also, we've got
that's a bold
one from Teo Zushi. Says, congrats, Colt, Tim, Ranjez, and Dealer. The last 2 years, you are vindicated, Malaka. Yes. Also, another one from Clapper Dan, who says, Legend says Sony won't actually announce the price until you buy it. Okay, yeah, until the cashier whispers it in your ear and then politely asks you not to tell anyone else. Yes. And then, okay, that one I already got. Okay, so again, shout out to you guys. Thank you. And shout out to Aaron again for answering your questions and being cool enough to chill in the chat. Same for Mike. Larry was in here for a little bit, Larry Herb. And if you missed our show with him in July, that was a really, really cool experience as well. But yeah, I mean, as far as what Sony can do, I don't see them competing price-wise. I think price matters a lot. We saw that with the all-digital and Black Friday, just basically a pilot program for what this box is, and getting the consumer used to the fact that there is no disk drive, right? So that's basically what this thing was all about, and it actually did pretty well. It dominated Black Friday. It was $150. I get that, but at the end of the day, the value here is pretty much unrivaled. If Sony can come in at the absolute lowest, I think at $400, and you know, that's still $100 is a lot of money to a lot of people. So
yeah,
if they're thinking about upgrading, you know, keep in mind that there's already people that have their mind made up. They want to stay in the Xbox ecosystem or the PlayStation ecosystem. Their friends are there, their games are there, and with Xbox X, you get to keep all your fucking games. So of course, if you only got $300 or you want, you know, that next leap, which it is, then you want it, you know, that option is there for you. And again, if you see anybody saying it's pointless, what the fuck is the Xbox One S? Why'd they buy one of those? If you see anybody say that it's weaker than the Xbox One X, there's a clear difference in the architecture and what that's capable of. The numbers don't tell the whole story. Anybody who has known anything about this has know that. And again, Mike Ybarr did say
Read
that.
some stuff.
Mike Ybarr did say that when it comes down to what the box is capable of and stuff, like it's great for consumers. No developer can tell you it's a bad thing. And yeah, so I think it's a great thing. Colt, did you talk about what Sony could possibly do? Because I don't see anything to kind of counter the Lockhart. That's what we've been talking about on the show. Like, why are they waiting if the Lockhart's sitting here waiting, going to crush them anyway in the price?
No, I think Sony already knows how much the two consoles are. They already know what the PS5 two SKUs are. I don't think either one of them is going to wait for an announcement and then move a price they had planned and change all the graphics and marketing materials and strategy. I think that's already set. That's my opinion. But yeah, it's just really kind of this stubborn setup where we're in this really bad spot with what's going on in the world. And at this point, PlayStation refuses to say anything. Today, they showcased a $10,000 24 karat gold PS5.
Is that how much
but
it was?
They have not yet revealed what in the world the price point is for the PS5 that everyone else is going to buy. So I don't know what in the world.
Though that goes that whatever it was, 24 karat gold console was £8,000, but it was also had a pre-order date starting the 10th. So, I mean, it's the 9th now, so that tells me that there's definitely the pre-order information for the regular PlayStation tomorrow.
Are they going to talk about something on Wednesday? Like Sony, is that like confirmed? Has anybody heard anything for that? Like tomorrow or something?
Yeah,
Game in the UK said that they'd received notification that they were going to be speaking about pre-order information tomorrow.
yeah.
On the 9th?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Shout out to Gaz, 50 pounds now. Show us the game.
shout out to Gaz.
I am the man.
Yeah, shout out to Gaz. He is a man. He's a real man. Nano Polymath, again, he says best podcast in the world, in the community. The only podcast where the Xbox team shows up for the actual community. You don't see that. Yeah, so thank you so much, brother. And everyone else saying the same in the chat and the other super chats. Thank you guys so much. I can't bog it down there too much. KY Bob as well says his thumb is already tired of hitting the refresh. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, man. Yeah, he's waiting on those damn pre-orders. So, Aaron's still talking. He's still talking to the chat. He's a little loose-lipped tonight.
He said, for all those asking for the pre-order date, we will share that, but I cannot announce it here, unfortunately. So I guess this podcast isn't good enough. I guess that's what he's saying.
Damn it, Aaron.
Wow.
We have grinded for years, overtaking corporate after corporate podcast, and we're still not good enough.
It does sound like both are pretty much ready to make the waiting game stop.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm seeing. Yeah. And of course, we're not going to hear it here first.
Dutch, I have a plan.
Who put these fish hooks in our jaw?
Well, logic kind of says if Sony's going to go ahead and announce their pre-order date and the price of the PlayStation 5 tomorrow, I would expect Microsoft to announce it at least by Thursday, by Wednesday, or Thursday. I mean, by Thursday. Or they could do the Sony approach and how Sony counteracted them when the Xbox One launched with "This is how we share games." You know, they could announce their price, and, you know, a better price than the PlayStation 5 or a competitive price. And open up the pre-orders as well, you know, to steal some of that momentum away. So I think in the next 2 days, we should probably hear it, especially if Sony confirms that information tomorrow.
Greenberg says, love you all. And yes, we want to actually bring XAA, what is Xbox?
Xbox
All Access and xCloud to more places. We hear you. Yeah, so expect that stuff to continue to expand. And then shout out to Lord Star Killer, by the way. He says that you are amazing with a little dancing icon. Thank you so much.
Chosen One, put your question just regular back in the chat. We'll keep an eye out for it. We missed a super chat from him.
Yeah.
We're trying to get to him, but
also, guys, if you're watching, almost 3,000 people watching live, guys, hit that like button if you haven't. We do appreciate it. Share it out.
70 away.
Give Greenberg a thumbs up in the chat for showing up and answering your questions, guys, and taking the feedback. You know, it's very important. It's something that Greenberg's pretty good at. He will sit there and listen, good or bad, and I think that's pretty important. So, again, Colt, nothing they can really do to compete with the price. We heard some things about their games, but we're not sure what's going on there. I mean, do you want
me to say that? I mean, I don't have anything like to back it up, but
no, don't worry about that. I'm just saying that what can they do? Because I mean, even if they do have one or two games, like price is price.
Here, let me say this. Since the rest of my opinion doesn't really carry anything as far as that's concerned, but PlayStation doesn't have to try and undercut or match the Xbox. The PlayStation brand and name is huge.
So why are they
They're
waiting?
going to sell incredibly well. Look, it says Cole Eastwood joined your party. They're going to sell incredibly well no matter what. But what we're seeing with the Series S and with Game Pass being such a big, like, industry impressive thing that a lot of people, if you're not like a massive fanboy, the people are really excited about this. What this means is that there's going to be way more people jumping on the Xbox ecosystem than they would have probably at the beginning of the Xbox One generation, because the whole dynamic was totally different. And Xbox is poised, even with a flagship game delayed, they've set up a really good price point. Game Pass is going to be offering all this stuff the first year you buy into the system. And that's where it's really going to make a difference. That's what Sony has to compete against. Like, they've got the market share. But this $300 console is going to bring a lot of people to say, you know what, I wasn't sure if I was getting an Xbox right away or if I was getting an Xbox this generation, but I'm grabbing one of these suckers. So that's kind of where it sits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't agree with the Sony don't care or they don't need to worry about it. I feel like they are worried about it. That's why they're not saying anything.
Yes.
And I mean, it's got to be, again, like we talked about a week or so ago, like, these prices up on the high end, they got to be still a little malleable or something, right?
Yeah, and I don't agree. A lot of people were telling me, like, oh, Xbox doesn't care. It's like, if they didn't care, like, they wouldn't have, like, everybody's like saying they don't care. It's like, no, they do.
Have a $399 Series X if they didn't care. So shut up.
Gee, Timmy got the
Chosen One's super chat question was to Aaron, which he can't answer, but he's asking if there'll be enough consoles for everybody to get in on pre-orders and pick up one day one.
Probably not, man. You're just going to have to pre-order the hell out of it and hope for the best, because that $300 price tag is pretty impressive for that thing.
Hit the spam button.
I was going to say that's a good point, to be honest, actually, with regards to pre-orders. But the one thing Sony need to be careful of isn't just the price at this moment in time. They've already said that they're quite limited on production initially. So that's going to drive price up further for them. That's going to be putting them justification of why do we need a lower price. We're going to drive our own thing by saying it's this premium product that you can't get a hold of.
Yeah, and you'll have plenty of cross-gen games, so it's not like you're locked out, right? If you can't get one right away, like they're not cutting you off like everyone else is kind of doing and what people have done historically, which is great. But on the other end of it, obviously you want the thing. Stone, by the way, says, thanks for hanging out, Aaron Greenberg. We want to see some games on the hardware, stuff like that. Yeah, he did say in the chat that they are showing more this week. We don't know what it is, but we are hoping for the best. Pods here. another one for Aaron. Give a huge shout out to backwards compatibility team. Yes. Can't wait to see what BC looks like and plays like on Series X. Yeah, I mean, again, you know, too many to get to, guys. You guys are awesome. And shout out to everyone watching. Zalker, I guess we can kind of get your take on what Sony could possibly do and what you think is there anything they can do to combat Lockhart?
Like I said, man, I think that they're going to have to do something with the digital console. I think that's their only saving grace. And I think they need to, once they announce the price and everything, they need to be like, pre-order now. Like, that's the only thing I could see them doing, is that you can pre-order it now and then call it and be the first to start pre-ordering. The other thing is, I just don't know the date, right? Like, that's the only thing I'm worried about with Sony is, what's the date? Because I think November 10th was like the sweet spot. And I said that in a video when there was like, oh, November 13th is the day where that was going around. I was like, I think that's the best week to release it. And Xbox has that week locked down. And now it's like, is Sony just going to go the 17th, like a whole week later, or what are they going to do? So I don't really know what Sony can do. I don't think they have to do much because, you know, they're the market leader right now. That's just a fact. And they have a big brand that's around the entire globe. And that's what Xbox needs to do. That's why they need to not have a staggered release. And that's the only thing that they can do is bring it out everywhere. Yeah. So that's what I think. I think they have. I think that their work cut out for them, but I think they're ready for it, to be honest.
Yeah, they've definitely
got a couple of super chats.
Lord Starkiller, by the way, says number one. Shout out to you, buddy.
And also Stone23, Aaron, show the fans games running on next gen hardware and what to expect. Thanks for hanging out. I think you'll get a little of that this week. And Pod Sir, Aaron, please give a huge shout out to backwards compatibility team. Can't wait to see what BC looks like and plays like on Series X. I love BC so much. Got to finish many more games via BC plus Mass Effect Trilogy.
Yes.
Red Dead Redemption 2 running at 60.
And thank you.
Gosh, that would be amazing.
The Lord Star Killer actually did 2. I'm seeing it right now. So for $20, you know, we're trying to get to all these, but it's very hard. I'm just telling you guys, we've gotten
they're trying to murder. They're trying to kidnap Tim in the background. You hear him breaking up?
Yeah, I do. Sounds like Megatron.
Decepticons attack!
Roll out.
I think
God, the mercy
Xbox
said.
fans are very happy.
It's a yeah, Tim. I think you're kind of breaking up, brother. You're in and out, man.
God, the mercy said. Colt is so jolly. I reckon if he dropped his new console and broke it, he'd say, "Oh my."
Nah,
I'll just buy another one. I love gaming. Big grin.
You should have heard him when Walmart didn't have his Xbox One X to him on time. Woo!
Yeah, in 2017, Walmart couldn't get my order, so I got my console 2 weeks after everybody else. I was like, dang it, Dutch, it's always one more score. That was really mad.
Always one more score. I mean, honestly.
You should hear Colt when he runs into a piece of furniture with his knee.
Or when a fly keeps landing on his face over the course of 2 days in a party.
You smell like shit.
Steeler, don't you have some topics to go to?
Actually, no. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I wanted to keep this one shorter. We're all kind of worn out from these damn videos. They take longer than people know to make, and staying up and doing all that, man. I'm tired as hell. But honestly, thanks to Greenberg, thanks to Yabara, thanks to Larry Herb for stopping by in the chat and talking to you guys. And again, let them know you appreciate it on Twitter. I'll probably tag them in the post-show tweet just for stopping by. And thank you guys for stopping by and doing what you do, almost 3,000 in a relatively short amount of time. You know, again, it's a pretty short show tonight, so that'll be our final topic, what Sony can do. I'm not sure there's much they can do to combat Lockhart, but they can use their stellar marketing team as they have, and you know, they'll find a way. So again, I think they are concerned with the price. I think they are concerned with the price, and especially being compared neck and neck with Series X, because they know there's a delta. But at the end of the day, like, they can take a loss and do the right thing, especially for the consumer. It's not anyone else's fault that your prices got out of control. Or, you know, you can sit next to Series X and be outclassed in every way, except for an SSD that will only benefit games that are only on PS5, right? So, I mean, it's one of those things where I guess we'll have to wait and see. Series X S looks good. As you know, there's a lot of people out there claiming that they've been saying X, Y, and Z the whole time. No, they haven't. Very few people have stuck to one price and if it's real or not. You know, I'm glad to say that we've been hitting things on the head here, and everyone in the chat, you're all informed, all of you, except for the few of you that for some reason didn't believe us after everything else we've kind of nailed. But again, that's human nature. We do appreciate it. Just for rocking out with us, guys, hitting the like button, doing everything you do. We're just trying to make it fun, I guess. And it's kind of hard to do when I'm this tired. So we're going to do some outros. Thanks again. Hit the like button, show a buddy or two, share this on a forum, and tell a friend, subscribe, all that good stuff. Do appreciate it. Links down below to some other crap. And shout out to Sean LeBrie. I'm trying to get some new stuff up for you guys, like shirt-wise. These shirts look amazing, by the way. Wait until you guys see them. They're completely different class. And there's a
new YouTube banner, which is awesome as well.
Yeah.
So,
I had them redo. Oh, you got one from him?
Yeah.
Cool.
Sean LeBrie wanted me to tell you he took a day off of working on your stuff for your channel so he could make memes about Series S.
Yeah, I saw. And you know what? Absolutely worth it.
He is so funny.
But again, guys, the console is definitely has a point. It's definitely better than the Xbox One X. And people that are saying that, I just don't get it. It's almost like they just can't think critically. The hype is real. You can tell there's a whole aura around this announcement today, and I think that's proof enough that this has left an impact. It has surprised people. And again, these same people were saying Xbox Series X is going to be $700. Again, we've been right on the head pretty much the whole fucking time. 300, 500, it is what it is. People that know. So again, thanks for what you do. We are going to do some outros. Colt Eastwood, what have you been playing, buddy, and where can people find you?
I've been playing Grounded and the Avengers game, which I don't love it, but I'm going to keep working on it. The main missions are cool, but the other parts, I'm sorry.
Don't make me fight.
I'm sorry. I know, and Zucker and I have been talking about it, but he loves it, and I'm trying my best to love it. You can find me at Colt Eastwood on YouTube and Twitter, and I am really tired. I put together a video Sunday night for Monday morning, then turned around Monday night and made another video. I'm just excited. I'm going to pick up one of these Series S's. Like I said, I'll have that and the X. I'm pretty excited to see what they're doing, and I'll get a PS5. I'll get the digital, and hopefully I'll be able to get one like day one. That's the big hope, because I think it's going to be really tough to get a console right now because the old ones are sold out in stores, and yikes. I hope we all get what we want for Gamer Christmas. What's that?
Is Fonz in the chat somewhere?
He was a little bit, I thought.
Shout out to Fonz. I didn't see him in the chat. Shout out to him. But yeah, I forgot what I was going to... Shout out to Lethal, by the way, Boss Mod in the chat there, and all the mods, Wilmy and Obi and everyone. You guys are awesome. You keep the chat sane.
Yeah, did you notice the chat was really, really clean today? Like, really, everybody's
it's
really
almost
excited.
it's almost like there's not much people can really shit on with this new box, and they kind of just don't show up to hate, right?
Yeah.
Almost.
There he is. There's the Grounded Gamer. Hey, Fonz. We miss you, buddy.
Yeah.
Grounded.
Grounded. Shout out to you, Fonz, and again, we'll have Fonz back on the show when he's all settled in and ready to go, man. Looking forward to having him back, and honestly, follow Fonz.
He's getting that bionic arm put in, isn't he?
Yeah, he's 3,200 RPM, he said, so he's good to go. D-Batch, what have you been playing, and where can people find you, brother?
I've been playing a little bit of Call of Duty. I do have Avengers. I haven't got a chance to fire it up. I also bought Tony Hawk, but yeah, getting the kids ready for school and stuff. I just haven't had a chance. So hopefully tonight will be the night I get to play these games. You guys can catch me on YouTube, of course, at D-Batch. Check out my video today. I know you guys got the news already, but there's a few little tidbits in there. And of course, I give you guys my take on, the whole situation. And of course, you can find me on Twitter at D_Batch. Was a great show today. I'm excited for the Series S. I think it's going to be the leader this holiday season. Just for the price alone, I think moms going out there buying consoles for their kids or Christmas presents, or people getting it as a secondary console, I think $299 is going to be a very hard price point to beat.
Yeah, I agree. Also, Obi apparently was a no-show today, so Obi's a fraud, and shout out to Lethal.
Iron Man plays better than Anthem. Keep going.
Yeah. We've also got Wondering Dutch, brother. Thanks for guesting, man. Tell people what you've been playing and where can people find you, brother.
Recently, a little bit of Call of Duty as well, but I've been digging in more into Ghost of Tsushima on PS4 at the moment, so just working through that. You can find me on Twitter, Wondering Dutch, and YouTube, Wondering Dutch, and tomorrow have Colt on, along with Chris Grinnell, who got a lot of stick last time he was on your podcast.
Hey, Chris is a wild man. No one can control Chris. No one can control what that man says.
My podcast on your time is 3 p.m. Eastern.
Hey man, Chris could say some shit that's 50 times, whatever, on other shows, and I think people just hate it because if somebody's on the show, their voice is heard, and they're not used to that. As Sony guys, right? An Xbox show, your voice gets heard, articles written about it. It's never happened in this community before. So they really hate it when you get a developer like Chris on, who's like, hey, this is what I heard. I have proven sources. Like, I don't care what you think. Like, I'm going to be honest. And I used to work for Sony, and then articles get written about that. These guys, it's hate because his voice was amplified, and I warned him, and he took it like a champ, like he don't care. So again, shout out to Grinnell, man, he's a great guy.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting one tomorrow because he's been a lot more vocal recently, I think, since being on your podcast. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
It should be fun. So thanks for coming on, Dutch, man. It's good to finally get you on here. Tim Dog, xCloud Tim Dog, tell people what you've been playing and where can people find you, brother.
First out, shout out to Lord Star Killer. I'd say give him a shout out. He put another $10 in the super chat.
Star Killer's trying
Lord
to go for a record.
Star Killer XSX01, awesome dude. Thank you. Shout out to Wandering Dutch, who's awesome. I'm definitely going to check out his podcast tomorrow with Chris, who was awesome. I've been playing Avengers, which I like a lot, and I know that you guys aren't into it, but I kind of like the feel of the game and having a good time on it. There's some things that I guess you can complain about, but I just feel like just the Avengers itself is really cool, and I'm a big fan, and maybe that just kind of sways me a little. But I also think to myself, like, why, if Square Enix can do this type of game, why isn't Xbox trying to do something like this? Like, this would be a perfect thing for Xbox to have as an exclusive, and it would be, it shows it's not impossible. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm also playing Madden 20 still. As far as where you can find me here every week. With my mic is hopefully it sounds better now because people are complaining once again. But I'm here every week, 8:00 and Tuesdays, and I'm also on Twitter where anybody can hit me up. xCloud Tim Dog. Great show, really good positive stuff. It's kind of getting down over the last couple of weeks. A lot of people complaining, pissed off. And like I said, price matters. And we even talked about, like, why the hell are we talking about price all last week? Because, as you see, it matters. And
that's why I said, why are we talking about it? Obviously, it matters.
Right. No, but I'm saying, like, we were going on and on and on about it. And the fact is that as today's show, there'll be other days. So when the Xbox has these bad days, just we'll take the good with the bad. I think that they really kind of redeemed themselves here, or they got themselves back on track. I expect Sony to fire back tomorrow, and then I expect Xbox to do their rebuttal, and then we're going to be on our way, guys. We're going to hopefully be pre-ordering all these consoles, and like I said, great show tonight. Over 1,100 likes. So many super chats. We couldn't even keep up with it. But it was awesome to see. And, shout out to Mike Ybarra, Aaron Greenberg, and Larry
Major
Herb,
Nelson for stopping by.
Major Nelson for stopping by. Thanks a lot, and see you next week.
Go join the xCloud Army at xCloud Tim Dog on Twitter. I got his Twitter handle, and everyone's up in the scroll up above with the patrons. And if I'm missing somebody, like I know I got a message from somebody that said their name wasn't up there. I'm thinking about moving that up. There's too many names. It won't even let me put them all in there anymore. So just I might have to move that up a tier or something. I don't know. But please message me and I'll try to fix that. Also, shout out to Noof. Check him out. If he's doing a show after tonight, he'll be live after we go off air. So shout out to Noof and Ashtray Gaming and everybody that's in the chat, all the channel members, all the patrons. Everybody said hi. Appreciate it. Zalker, tell people where they can find you and what you've been playing, buddy.
I've been playing a lot of Avengers like Tim. I actually really enjoy the game. I love comic book stuff, so it's just fun to me. I have a good time with the story. They actually have a story in it that surprised me. And I play a little bit with my friends. So we were having a good time with that. You guys can find me on Twitter at Zalker87 and YouTube Zalker87. I'm actually dropping my Series S video tonight because I didn't get to do it. I was working all day.
full-time job over here. So yeah, I was at work and I decided to make it when I got home, and so gonna probably bring it out tonight to talk about everything. And yeah, man, the stuff is awesome, and it is. You did bring it. You said something earlier saying that everything is very positive, and it is. Like the chat was extremely positive. It does have a different feel. I put that on Twitter like early in the morning when I was at work. I said, it just feels positive on Twitter. There's some people that are saying negative things about this, but they get drowned out real quick. Like even a lot of people that I know have hated on Xbox are even like, you know what? That's a pretty damn good price. I might get one. Like that's pretty cool to me. So it's gaming people. We all love gaming, and chat. You guys are awesome. And Lethal was holding it down tonight. So yeah, man, everything's good. Everybody's great. There you go.
Yeah, man. Again, you probably made that video during the show, you piece of shit. Zach's gonna drop that video tonight for some reason, and we'll get Zach's take more in depth there. I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty Team Deathmatch lately. Me and Colt been playing that along with my a couple other my friends. Been playing Call of Duty for the first time in quite a while. As well as
old man knows how to play that game still. I couldn't believe it. We were having some good times.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It feels pretty good. And then I've been playing Avengers, which right now I'd probably give like a 7 maybe. It's not like horrible, but there's things about it that, they've executive oversight, too much of it. And they've made these guys do some stuff they probably didn't want to do, like finding a fucking crate in the middle of the woods next to some rocks and some deer shit. There's a golden crate in the fucking ground. It makes no sense. But
Nathan Drake in an Iron Man outfit. That's just weird.
But it is nice to get
cool.
just to even see mocap again. I'm like, I missed you. The production value, it looks gorgeous. Like, it looks so good.
Yeah.
On the Xbox One X, I'm not playing it in the frame rate mode because it spends most of its time in the 40s, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. So, yeah, I'm playing it in the resolution mode. It looks great. Other than that...
You should read that super chat, dealer.
Which one?
Yellow.
Toro V. He says, I'm sorry, our super chats are bogging down your stream. I won't bother supporting in the future. Hey, man, if you don't want to support, you don't have to support. I never once begged this chat for one fucking dime. So if you don't want to support, please, you don't have to. If you want to, then you can, and it's appreciated. But at the end of the day, if you can't understand that there's 3,000 people in the chat, and you take a word like bogging offensively, I can't fix that for you, man. I could just be me. So I appreciate everything you guys do, but I'm gonna be honest and tell you that I can't. Yeah, thanks for the 10, and I again can't get to it. I'm only fucking human. Shit. So yeah.
You also have Mike. You also have guys from Xbox that are commenting that you have to keep up with. I mean, listen. That's why I said I knew people were putting it down. They want to be heard. All I could say is if you got missed, you can hit me up on xCloud Tim Dog, and I will bring it to attention, and we will we'll give you a shout out the following week.
Yeah, I don't know if he was joking, honestly, but Toro, if you were joking, man, like how am I supposed to take that over text, right? Let's say it's like a fucking dating app over here. So I mean,
we try to do the right thing. So
serious. All I can do is be honest with you, man. He probably was fucking trolling me, but even still, though, like there's people out there, Toro, that are actually, even if you were trolling, awesome. That makes you feel better. If you weren't, I get it too. But at the same time, like I'm just being honest. So there are people out there that are like that, and there are other shows out there that literally say, "Hey, the super chat's working. Like, pay us," So again, I appreciate it, but at the same time, I'm not going to do that kind of stuff. So again, check out Noof after the show, and try to get to all the ones I can. I want the show to feel natural, and I'm already not firing on all cylinders tonight. So again, thank you guys for what you do. Hit the like button, share it out. I appreciate it. I'll ask you for that. And let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Subscribe, all that good stuff. Support these guys on the panel. They're the best, among the best in the community. That's why I brought them here, and to watch all these guys grow. Every single one of these fuckers has grown because they're good at what they do. So go support these guys. And again, thank you for what you do. We're going to get out of here.
Later, everybody.
Later.
Zach, you're still a fraud.
The most talented. 100% bitch.